Good evening. Good evening once again. I hope you're all well. This is Afrique 24, and where the sun rises not only on the horizon but also within our hearts. A beacon of knowledge, unity, and the shared stories among the panelists who are here today. I'm your host, Mzalendo, and today we embark on a journey that transcends borders, connects cultures, and celebrates our continent of Africa. Let us set the stage for this vibrant Sunday gathering where we have our host who will introduce themselves. On my left, kindly introduce yourself. On my left is one man called Hilary. Hilary, let me give you an opportunity to introduce yourself and where you are.
I didn't know I'm on the left. I can see you on my right, but it's okay. Thank you so much.
I was also wondering who is on the left and who is on the
No,
right.
you're on my left side. You're on the left side,
Right.
yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lendo. We thank you so much. We're here to join the Africa conversation, comrades from Africa, friends. Myself, I'm Hilary Gondi, currently in Canada, sitting here to share the story and the ideas and amazing things in this conversation this evening. Otherwise, I'm doing well. Thank God for everything. Karibuni sana wote wanaosikiza ujumbe huu. We thank you so much. Karibu sana.
On my right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mzalendo, for the opportunity for me to join Africa 24 conversation tonight. My name is Jeff Boro. I'm prepared to have this beautiful conversation. While I was away, I missed Africa 24.
Yeah, maybe we should start by you telling us where you've been. What have you been chasing up and down in the US? What have you been up to?
Mzalendo, here, you can't sleep. You have to work very hard for you to be in a position to meet your bills and also to live the way you want to live. So I've been busy working. It has been a very busy week for me, but I thank God I'm here today. Today I'm free, tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. So you have me 3 days.
All right, Hilary, how was your Sunday and your previous week? Now that we are beginning the week, your mic, Hilary, your mic is off.
Thank you, my host. I think the Sunday was good, and today weather was so nice. It was there was sun outside. It was less cold, and the week has been busy. But we thank God that we are here. Yesterday I heard that there was amazing story here, more than 6 hours, but I was not there. But today we are here now to talk about Africa and to know what is happening. We want to thank the Lord for that.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday we had an amazing time with our panelists, Stella and Ellie, and so many other people who joined Africa 24 so that we can discuss the issues affecting Kenya and the politics and where we are seeing our country, Kenya. But today it's easy Sunday. Today we'll jump into any topic that we feel is important in our arts and important in our life. But more importantly, the panelists joining me here today are not in Kenya. They are Kenyans, but they are based in various places and work in different sectors in Europe and in America. Maybe just to start off with Hilary. Hilary, how is life in wherever you are? Tell us where you are. How life is there, especially for the immigrant community.
Yeah, thank you so much, my host. I think I'm in Canada. That is North America. One of the second largest country in the world after Russia is Canada. We have a big land. You can immigrate here. I want to say that the immigrants has a lot of challenges, and we've seen so many things coming here. People come here, seek maybe the asylum and everything. It's not been easy the way we perceive it to be. When you are back home, you hear the stories and everything. Here you have to work 24 hours. If possible, you work throughout the clock so that you can pay your bills and everything. So it's not an easy journey when you come with the mind that you think that it's a bed of roses that you can just sit and also just be there, not to work. So it's a bit challenging with the minds that we are coming with here from back home. But when you come with open mind, it's also a good life, because here people follow law. Nobody's following you as long as you're doing the right thing. Um, that is beautiful part of it. But the truth is, the immigrants, when you come to these countries, when you're older, you feel a lot of challenges. It needs, when you're young, is a little bit better, because at least you go with the culture and everything. So culture shock also is something that people, because it is cold, most of Canada is mostly cold. From the month of October, you find it is cold, to the month of April when we started it now. You look at it, so the most time is a bit cold, and then you start the spring for for 2 months, then you go for summer for another 3 months. So these are the challenges that immigrants do face sometimes, but truly is a good life, because it comes with a new experience. You see different things. It's a good thing to learn. If you want to learn, you learn a lot of things. So it's a better life, and it's a good thing when you want to learn. But if you don't want to learn, again, it has a lot of challenges, my host. Because a lot of challenges, my host. If you realize that many people go to drugs, many people get stressed, many people got depressed, because the expectation is not the same that like the story that they are hearing before they come here. So it just need adjustment as fast as possible, and need you to react on it, so that you can cope up with the life that is here. Otherwise, whatever you can live, you just need a positive attitude all the time, whether you're back home or you're abroad, wherever you are. Just approach it with a positive attitude, then you'll make it. Thank you, my host.
Thank you very much for that wonderful opening. Canada is very close to the US. You can fly in by plane, you can go in by railroad, you can go in by water, you can go in by road, water, and even I think rail. You can still go into Canada. So just as Hillary has said, the borders that are very close to Canada are very cold. I think my experience with the trucking business is the day I was in a border that I was so close to Canada, and it was so cold, and my AC was not working in the truck. So you can imagine I was freezing. I was freezing for almost a week. I had to buy blankets, the warm blankets from the supermarket. Try to heat myself up. And let me tell you, Baridi, the cold is very bad in such area. Mburu.
Yes, sir.
How is life in wherever you are? Tell us where you are in the US. How life is there vis-a-vis the situation back at home. Would you rather be back in Kenya than be here in the US and also?
Mzaredo, you know, they say that east or west, home is the best. The reason why you see most people who come to America or Canada, they keep on thinking about home, and they like discussing about Kenya, or even those who come from other parts of Africa, they keep thinking about their country, is by that fact that home is always the best. When you think of these nations, one, they are overregulated. You don't feel free, like how you feel free in Kenya. Here, if you go on the wrong side of the law, you find yourself in trouble, and there are no shortcuts. So you have to ensure that you live according to the rules and regulations or the laws strictly. And not only that, people think that the cost of living is very low in America or in Canada, which is not always the case. The cost of living is always very high. That's why we overwork ourselves. Some people have 3 jobs, 2 jobs. First, to be in a position to meet the basic needs before even you can think of anything else. The cost of living is very high. If you think of the money I pay or we pay per month for our bills, including the house bills, the water bills, electricity, the sewer system, almost everything here we pay for. So we find ourselves working very hard to meet our basic needs. And also on the other side, life in America is beautiful because jobs are available. Everywhere you go, you see signposts saying that we are hiring. And like where we come from, if you lose a job, it will take you a long time before you can get another job. So here, you stop working from one place, and tomorrow you go to another place. That is the beauty about America. So when I think of that, I say it's not that America or Canada or UK, that these countries are better than our countries. It's only that we need to put more effort to build our economies. Because if you think of Africa is the best place you can ever be, think of our weather, you know. We don't have these seasons fluctuations that we are in winter, very cold season, whereby you can even risk your life by being out there, especially if your car is not does not have a good cooling and heating system. Even in the house, some people die in the houses because of cold. And when you come to summer, sometimes during summer, the heat is too much that we are warned through TV stations and through messages that we don't go out because the temperature has gone above 100. So when I think of Kenya, it has very stable weather. When I think of Kenya, I see the freedom in which people operate. Here we don't associate as much. You know, people keep personal distance a lot. In Africa, you know, especially where I come from, I knew almost all my neighbors. Here, I don't know my neighbors. We just say hi maybe when we accidentally meet, but we don't just go visit people around. I can say people keep a lot of personal distance. People don't interact so much. That is the ugly side of these countries. So you always miss the interaction in Kenya, how people don't fear each other. Here you can even, if by mistake you go and knock somebody's house, you risk being shot. Mzalendo, there was a time I wanted to ask for address, and I approached some guys. I saw them seated. They were seated somewhere out. They were basking outside. So I decided, oh, let me go and ask them the direction where I was going. So what happened? The woman left the house and came with a shotgun and gave it to the husband because they perceived me as a threat. So I told them, oh, I came peacefully, guys. Relax. I'm just asking for this address. So that's how ugly sometimes the situation in America can be. And yeah, so I can say it's not that we enjoy so much being in these countries. It's only that economically, these countries are far much better than our countries. In Kenya, I was having a title. I was doing a white-collar job. In America, I do odd jobs, but the money I make is more than 20 times what I was making when I had a title in Kenya. So you can imagine. So, and also sometimes I tend to wonder why we are in this position in Africa. Our leaders, and including ourselves, we should be in a position to brainstorm and see where we go wrong, because that is not how it's supposed to be. We have minerals. We have everything that it takes to build our economy. And we should really think about it. Sometimes I ask myself, what are we doing here? And our countries are very, very rich, very rich. So yeah, it's a pathetic situation.
Well, thank you very much, Mburu. I hope it is something different in Canada. Maybe Hillary will tell us how the situation and the employment is employment very available for immigrants in Canada, or are people struggling to get employed?
Yeah, there's a lot of struggles here. You know, it is not easy because they want to equip your academics with back home. That will take a lot of time. I want to support what Mburu is saying, that you have office back home, you are doing, you're a manager, you're a CEO, man, you come here, just come empty-handed, come empty-headed person, because the job that you'll be doing is caring for people, factory work, and other thing. The beauty part of it is only one, that you realize that you do odd jobs, you get better paid than back home. But the truth is, there's a lot of challenges when you come with that as expertise or skilled worker. You realize that
Yes.
you realize that there's a lot of challenges when you come with, oh, you want to go here. They don't value office work. I noticed one thing in the North America, or with America generally as a whole, US and Canada, that the handiwork pays well than the office work. The office work which is paying is only two of them. It's only doctors and lawyers. The rest, better you go do truck driving. Truck driving even being paid better than even lawyers. You know, this plumbing job. These are the jobs that when we are home, you say that, oh, we cannot do it. Those people don't go to school. You realize that people comes here. These are the jobs they're running to, because those are the jobs that you can do. Constructions. Those are the best jobs around here. Nursing and other things. So, but it takes you time. It takes you time to get to the system. That's the challenge that we have. When you come back from home to here, you realize that it takes you time. That's what I was saying in my first conversation, that the children are better because when they hear they're growing here, they go to school here, they get into culture. You come here, you realize things were set, everything was set. So you getting into that culture will take you time, and that's taking time because you don't have that room of agreeing with what is happening. You realize that now you will get stressed, you get depressed, you start mental illness, because here people are not popular, people are not social like back home. You get into elevator, you are 10 of you, but nobody's saying hi. You just go walk into your house. So these are the few challenges that is happening here. So work is there, but it's a lot of challenging. Is a lot of challenge. Is a lot of challenge because until they verify your certificates, they qualify that it is. So that time, if you're not patient, then you realize that it will take time. But also one thing with them, when you go to school here, at least you'll get into the system slowly. So that getting to system, that's where you find yourself that there's a gap and there's a little bit depressed. But when you come to North America or coming to abroad, be open-minded person. If you're not coming to school, be open-minded person. And even if you're coming to school, be open-minded person that you can do any job, because those jobs will make you pay your little bills and doing everything before you get into what you want to achieve. But also, we encourage our people that these jobs that we said back home that are not good jobs, those are the best jobs in North America. Like I've mentioned some, like plumbing, electrical jobs, carpentry jobs. These are the best jobs around there. Truck driving, those are the best jobs. So when you're open-minded person, come here, go to trade. When you go to trade, you realize that life is changing so fast and everything will be okay. So Mzalendo, it is a little bit tricky because the mind that we are coming with the back from home. That's why we see the challenges. But when you come in and you want to get to the system and you don't choose any job that you want to do, because basically we are coming here to look money. That's for sure. You're just coming here to look money to live better. Don't choose. Go to Uber. Go to Uber. Uber people are making good money and they're staying with it. They pay their bills and everything. So those are the things that maybe people are saying home, oh, this is just a Uber guy. And somebody in the office is being paid 20,000 shillings. You 20,000 shillings you make in 2 hours or in 8 hours. Let's say 8 hours, you get $200. That's more than 20,000 20,000 Kenya shillings.
You
So
know,
not
you know, you know,
I
there's
mean,
a
especially here in America, 8 hours in a good day, you can even make 300 to 350 dollars with Uber. So here, Uber is a big deal. So sometimes I see people saying, oh, they are driving trucks in America. Oh, they are driving Uber. Oh, they are caring for the old people. They don't know how much these people make, you know. I have a friend of mine who cares for an elderly woman, and she gets over 300 per night. $300 just going and sleeping in that house, and there is nothing much she's doing. So you can imagine, these are the kinds of jobs that people do here, and they pay well. But adjusting, you know, I came with that mentality of I'm educated, I was in this level, so why should I do what everybody else is doing? So it took me time to adjust. Sometimes I would feel like crying. Sometimes I would feel like going back home. So adjusting from how you used to live to change maybe from your mindset that, oh, though I'm a professional, I can do anything else. It's not easy. It's not easy. And that is the battle of mind. And sometimes those people who are not able to go through these processes, the thought process, the process of the mind, to tell themselves, oh, yes, this is the situation and I can do any job. Sometimes they get stressed. Sometimes they get depressed because they feel like they are doing what they are not supposed to do. Sometimes you feel like, oh, and what was the purpose for me to be in school for all this time, that they are not recognizing my purpose? And yeah, but also I want to tell people, if you can decide to remain in the same position, you advance yourself, you go back to school, and also try to change your papers. There is a process of changing your papers so that they can they can see where is your standard, whether in Canada or here. They can transform your papers to see where is your standard. You can still look for those jobs that you are thinking they are good, but they don't pay very well. So I agree with you, Hilary, that in these countries, the manual jobs, the odd jobs, they pay better than the office jobs.
Wow. I've seen that the estimated salary for a truck driver in America is $100,000 annually. That would translate to almost a million Kenya shillings, if I'm not wrong.
You are wrong.
10 million Kenya shillings.
10 million.
10 million Kenya shillings. So that translates to 10 million annually that this person is earning. So
and with the current exchange rate, it's more than that. It's around 13 million right now.
I remember, Hilary, when I went into politics. So I've seen so many people from the US and Europe, when they go back at home, they are actually insulted by the locals that wewe unaosha mashosho huko pande ya nyuma. I don't want to say that word. Pande ya nyuma huko na unakuja kuturingia hapa na huko. You know, Kenyans have got this mentality. I don't know whether it is hatred or it is just sheer ignorance that you know, everybody that comes to Europe works in the elderly homes. Not every elderly home you have to wash the old men and women. Some of them you give them medicine. Yeah, unawapatia tu dawa. Kazi yako ni kumpatia shosho dawa, saa zile dawa yake wakati wa dawa imefika. When their time for taking medication is near ama has arrived, then you give them the medication because they have dementia. They can forget to take their medication. So some of this is just ignorant people talking. They really don't know what they are saying. But it's good to have the experience and to come here.
And you know, Mzalendo, if you tell the same people who are saying that, oh, these people do these kinds of jobs in America, in Canada. If you tell them, here is the visa, man. So it is like the story of the.
They really want that visa. They really want that visa. But
Yeah.
But again, my concern has always been the mental situation of somebody who was doing so well in Africa. Then they come to the US or in Canada, and they find themselves, in this position where you are working at Walmart, yeah, and yet you are a bank manager. You are working in a gas station, yet you are controlling a big company.
There was a person. There is a friend of mine. Let me just say this before I forget. He was a senior guy in the bank in Kenya, and right now he's a taxi driver, and this is the job he has been doing for over 20 years here. So, and he tells me, if he would have remained as a senior person in the bank, he would not have done the things he has done as a taxi driver. So when he came 20 years ago, he was telling me the least he would have made per day was $800, between $600 and $800 every day. So taxi was doing very well. So it's people, just talk things they don't know. But if you know some of the money these people make, you won't even say anything about it.
I hope it's not the same friend from Texas.
No, it's I don't know who is from Texas.
With a similar story. I have a guy with a similar story.
That guy has built a house. Man, I was looking for that house, and it's a big house in Kenya. Very big, Lento. Right now it's in the, I think, 5th floor.
Yeah. So here in Africa, we'll talk about the investment opportunities that people in diaspora can have and connect them to the banks that can give them loans, or the organizations that are here in the diaspora. I believe there are so many organizations in the diaspora doing the business of getting people connected to housing, getting people connected to land, getting people connected to buying property, basically in Kenya. I hope that in our next show, we'll be inviting the officials so that the people in diaspora can have the opportunity to buy property at home, because buying property at home has also been a big thorn in the neck. We've had stories of people from the UAE who have been channeling money back at home to relatives. Na wanakula hiyo pesa. Most relatives think that here in the US, you wake up every day and you're swimming in money. They don't know what you go through to make ends meet and the kind of bills that you have. So sometimes it is important for these particular forums to tell people the situation in the US vis-a-vis the situation at home. Hilary?
Yeah, I think one thing that also that we need to know is about the culture shock. The culture shock is a little bit crazy. Discrimination. The other thing that we face when we're here. You said about an investment. Investment is crazy. I want to say this again, that when you're coming here, be open-minded person. Because the jobs that people are saying that, huyu ni mkufagia tu barabara, huyu ni nini, hizo ndio pesa wanangoja ukiwa nyumbani. They still need those money. Wameketi hapa, hujalala, wajua hata kama umelala.
Mimi nakwambia Hilary, if I was given a chance nirudi nyumbani and I be young, na najua nakuja America, nitafanya kazi ya mechanic. Najifundisha kazi ya mechanic. Mechanic, hii kazi ya mechanic na kupiga rangi na mshale hizi panel beating hiyo.
Ndio.
That is something that I think that would give me a lot of money, because I think hapa we don't have very, very good mechanics. Na unajua hapa they replace the part. Hakuna ati ku repair the part.
No, they just replace it. They replace it.
Unanunua kila kitu mpya. Kama ni bush, unaona zile bush huko nyumbani unapelekea Freddy pale Shauri Moyo ananifinyia bushi yangu. Hey, Freddy, peleka hii pale kwa Kalasinga atunyoroshee bana. Hapa America bana, they don't know anything ya kupress bush. Nini hiyo unaambia? Haya, buy the whole system.
The whole system, yeah. Hata ukigoro kidogo, hakuna ati sasa wewe utanyoroshea upakwe nini inyoroshwe. Kigoro kidogo hapo, hiyo kitu inatolewa yote, inawekwa mpya. So hapa ni replacement. So vile umesema, hizo ndio kazi ambazo watu kama wanaweza kuja hapa wakuja wafanye. Hizo kufagia, hizo ndio pesa, hizo ziko na pesa. Kuchunga hawa watu wa shosho, sijui kupatia hata kuosha binadamu kwa ni dhambi. So watu wawache kuongea tu. People let people talk because you are here. Unaosha hiyo shosho na anataka pesa. Anaamka asubuhi, yeye anaamka asubuhi, wewe ni saa 7 usiku unapata simu, mtu anakupigia simu. He doesn't know whether you are asleep. And one thing, they're just calling with problems. They think that you are alive always, even if you get an accident.
Wacha nikupatie story niliona kwa another TikTok channel. Jamaa wa Kenya alipiga story. Kazi yake ya kwanza ile ashapata ni kuosha mashosho. So ameenda akambadilisha napkin nini hiyo siku, akasema kuosha shosho. Mimi vile nimekuwa huko Kenya, mimi ni asla nini nimestruggle bana. Ati mtu ananiambia ni kuosha shosho tu na nipatie $20. Ya nawa. Hiyo naweza kufanya hata 10 hours. Akaenda bwana, akafanya wa pili, wa tatu, wa nini. Wa tatu kwenda akambadilisha kumosha vizuri nini akambadilisha napi. Kumbadilisha tu hivi, kufunga hiyo napi hivi, shosho akawachilia kahara. Akamaria sasa.
Jamaa kaboeka kweli. Jamaa kaboeka kweli.
Jamaa kasema that was the end. Yeye na hiyo kazi.
Yeah, sasa hizo ni challenges kwa kazi.
Unajua there's some interesting stories around there, but they are the experiences that people get. And salama uko na roho ngumu, kuna zile kazi utafanya. But importantly, here in the US, if you land in Mboro's hands, if he's in doing insurance, that is the line that you'll follow, because that is what he knows. Ukienda kwa Hillary, bali anafanya job, if that is anafanya kwa homes, that is what he is able to organize for you and to do. But again, don't limit yourself that is what you can do. There are so many other opportunities that are here in the US. Sometimes you could be lucky to get into the system, get an education, and be absorbed into the system. But most of the time, they safeguard the good jobs for their people. Those are the interests that they have. Zile kazi zile mnawachiwa kama immigrants ni hizo, lakini kazi mzuri hizo ni zao, unless this is the catch. Unless you are in field like IT, you are in fields like nursing, is when you can be absorbed very, very easily. IT, you have to be very, very good here in the US, meaning that you are competing with the whole world. America has got a population of about 400 million people. So imagine competing with somebody from Japan, China, in that particular area. So you must be very, very good. You must be very, very good to get up there. But Kenyans have made it in business also, not only in employment. Kuna Wakenya wanafanya vizuri sana kwa biashara. I will invite my friend of Swahili Village, Kevin Onyona, who is in the hotel industry. He's doing so well. If I can find him in one of these shows on Comrade Sunday, he will tell us about Swahili Village and how he came to own a big hotel that now cuts across in most states in the US. So those are people who have achieved a lot here in America, but they started from the humble beginning. They didn't just get it so easily. Walianzia mahali, unafanya DoorDash, unafanya tuuba kidogo, unakimbia mahali, unaenda tracking, unafanya nini. Sisi hatujali, bora kazi inaleta pesa. Mimi niko nayo. So that is the spirit that we have here. And ukikuja hapo ukidhani utapata white collar job, ole wako, weka tu nyumbani na hiyo kazi yako. Hapa hapa hutavaa suti. I don't know the last time niliona Mkenya amevaa suti ni lini.
Yeah, we just remind ourselves wearing suits sometimes on Sunday. Otherwise,
Kanisani.
and I was a suit guy. Those who know me, 100%. I was almost every day on a suit and a tie.
Yeah. Me, I've never been. I have never loved wearing suits. I don't know. When mimi suti najua ni za kwenda kwa matanga peke yake.
Yes, stubborn.
Matanga. Wenda kukula kuku. Lakini ukweli vile umesema mzalendo, let us when you want to be good in your field, be good. Be demandable. Yani mali umefanya kazi, kila mtu anasema huyu jamaa kienda, hata kama ni IT, nursing, doctors, lawyers, anything. Wewe kuwa hapo. Be there, that even if Mburu you live there, people think there's nobody to replace you. So also that one is needed in the work that you're doing. You need to be positive with what you're doing, love what you're doing, no matter the job. If it is kana kufagia ama kupeana mafuta kwa gas station, be the best worker there. Yani ya watu ukitoka watasema hapana, they will not get Hillary. So it is also good to have positive attitude, and whatever you're doing, push it hard and push it. But also we want to tell these people back home, don't push it hard and don't talk about the job we're doing, because this dollar, si nitume $200, juu nadhani $100. Hiyo $100 mtu amefanya kazi masaa 8. So just don't ask like is a small money. So that one is also important. Mburu unasema kitu.
Yeah, I was just reflecting some of the challenges that we face here, and I tell people you need to have a strong heart to be in a position to navigate the system, whether in Canada, UK, or even US, or any other country from your country, because you always find different things and different ways of doing things. You find even to some extent some kind of discrimination, or even people, sometimes it's not even discrimination, it's that people don't understand you. They don't understand why you are not talking like them, why you look the way you look. There was a time I went to do, that time I was acquiring my driving license for the truck. So the person who was supposed to train us listened to my English, the pronunciation, and told me, because English is not your first language, you have to go and do the English test. So that it's called placement something. So I was like, oh, you think because I don't talk like you, I don't understand, or I'm less intelligent? So he told me, can you go, because it was a college, can you go prepare? And then you tell me when you be ready to do it. I told him, I can do it right now. Bring it on. So they gave me the test. You know, after I scored everything, they looked at me like, and I told him, you know what? I'm qualified to be your English teacher. So you should understand, actually told them, you should understand the fact that we don't talk or we don't pronounce words the way you do. You should not mistake that to mean that we are less intelligent. That is one of the misconceptions, even at the workplace. You won't talk like them. So sometimes they will find it hard to understand you, just like you find it hard to understand them. So before you become now synchronized or you assimilated to the group and even to that language, well, let me just call it language barrier, sometimes you struggle, you go through a lot of struggle. Where I work, we are supposed to be doing some announcements through the radio. You can imagine, and everybody in the station, they are hearing what you are saying. Every communication, you are doing it on a radio. So sometimes it's a challenge. Sometimes they will call your name, and even you don't know they are calling you because of how they are pronouncing it. Those are some of the challenges we go through. I have done some assignment. I'm supposed to do some communication, and everybody is listening to me. And sometimes they tell me, we didn't understand what you said.
And you're talking English. You're talking
English. You have given it all, you know.
I want to know how Americans pronounce your name, Mburu.
And so those are some of the challenges we go through. And sometimes they think because you don't talk like them, you are less intelligent. It is you now to prove them wrong by doing your job efficiently, effectively, perfectly. And that's when now you prove to them that I know exactly what I'm doing. And our academic system in Kenya has prepared us very well, because I realized all the exams, all the tests I've been doing here, because I came in the university, though they perceive you as if you are not intelligent like them, after you do that test, after you do that presentation, that is when they realize, oh, this guy is even better than us. You have to prove to them that actually it is not what you think. And now at that point, they start appreciating. So those are some of the challenges we go through, but we have to be very strong. Some countries, they go through a lot of discrimination. Just by being a Black person is a big deal. Just like in America here, accent is a big deal. So people go through different levels of discrimination. Some of them are very open discriminations. Others are hidden discriminations. But you have to be very strong to face this outside world.
I think, Mburu, that's interesting. Hilary, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, discrimination is real. That the language is a big deal here. If you don't pronounce things that the way they want it to be pronounced, then you are like outcast in the family. These are challenges that is happening. So just be smart of what you're doing. That's what I think. That's the basic, or that's the underline of everything. Be smart, whatever you're doing. Be smart, and tell them that you can do it. If you don't approve that, nowhere you'll work, because we are competing with Asians that are Chinese, those are Filipinos, those are Indians, and these people doesn't care. They work and everything. And I like Indians sometimes, because you go to Indians shops or warehouses and everything. They just talk Indians. The English you cannot do it. But they're so happy. They do it and they make it. They're making it. So let us be like them. We Africans, that's the problem we have in Mburu. So
intimidation. We feel intimidated.
Oh, no. Hilary is bringing a very good point here.
Yes.
That, he's saying that Indians, they speak their accent and they don't really care. They don't care.
And they're happy about it.
Sure.
But when you come here to the US, you find Kenyans really trying to talk like an American. They talk from their nose. I hate that. I hate when somebody...
But you see, Mzalendo, you see, because I have been thinking about it, even those Indians, if you listen to them, they try to pronounce words like the locals here, but their language, their deep accent cannot allow them. So the reason why Kenyans try to pronounce words the way they try is because when you speak to a white person or these African Americans, your typical Kenyan English, they won't understand anything. And the other thing, we tend to lower our voices when we are talking. Our voice when we are talking is low. Here, these people are used to almost shouting when they are talking. And somebody who was going through a lot of language barrier was asking me what she is supposed to do, because everybody was saying they don't understand her. So I told her, what you are supposed to do is increase your tone or your voice when you are talking. Speak louder. Be confident. Sometimes you have to speak out. When they see that you are confident, they respect you and they listen to you. Because sometimes they won't just dismiss you because they also see you're also intimidated, you're afraid, your words are not coming out. So you find it very hard. So Mzalendo, I was thinking, the reason why we try to pronounce words the way they are doing it is because we want to communicate at the end of the day. And that's how I see it.
Yeah, I remember my son was really getting frustrated with me when I communicate to him. the way we used to speak back at home. I don't know whether I speak with an accent, but I try as much as possible to speak the way I know best, and not to imitate the American or any other person. I try to be myself.
Let me tell you, we are few Africans or people from Africa where I work, and we face a lot of challenges when it comes to communication. Sometimes I have to, before I say whatever I'm saying, I have to say it in my mind, how I want it to come out. Because you want everybody to understand. And some of the announcements we make are very crucial, that if you are not understood, people will not do the actions you want them to do. So language barrier is a big deal. So I was thinking of the people who go to places like Germany, and they have to study German in Kenya so that they can go and work there. It's I can't imagine, because for us we have been studying English from class 1 to the university, but we are finding it hard here. What about them who have to go through the training, studies in Kenya before now they can go to the countries they are going and use the same language to do their jobs and to communicate?
Viewers, thank you very much for those who have joined. I can see Goodyear kama kawaida is saying Reverend Geoffrey Mburu has been away for a long time. Muulize tu alikuwa wapi. Black, thank you for joining. He's saying Hilary Barigani, msalimiwa sana hapo na Goodyear and Mr. Black who have joined the conversation. If you want to join the conversation, the link is up there. You can join us in this chat. This is Easy Sunday. Easy Sunday is a Sunday where we slow down on the politics, but talk about the issues affecting us directly, our experiences in life, the expectations of especially those who want to get the visa to come to either Canada or the US. The expectations are very, very high, but when you reach here, you find it's a different ballgame. If you didn't have employment, there's this category of people, Mburu, and
yes,
I want you to analyze them. There is this person is from the village. He was lucky, he got a green card from the village. He's from high school. He has never tarmacked. He has never done any job in Kenya. And then the first place he gets in is the first city he gets into is Nairobi City. And the next stop is the airport, JKIA. And the second stop is JF Kennedy Airport. Then he starts life in America. Have you ever met such a person?
Yeah, there are so many. The good thing about the people who were not so much exposed back home is that they are able to adjust very, very fast. Village life is tough life, and people in America, or life in America, requires hard people. So these people, the greatest barrier is, number one, is language barrier, where how to start. But the moment they start the journey, especially think of somebody who was not driving in Kenya, for instance. When they come here, they don't know driving at all. So everything they will learn the American way. It's not like us. Sometimes I would find myself forgetting that I'm in America, and I join the highway, then take the wrong direction, because or be on the wrong lane, many times, because I used to struggle to change from, in Kenya, we keep what? We keep right. Is it? We keep left in Kenya. And here, we keep right. You see? So sometimes I would just join the highway and go the other side. But these people who come here, they are green, they don't know anything, they are trained the American way. So when they get into the system, they get into the system very well. But they get a lot of struggle with just like anybody else. Sometimes you can even go to the hotel and even leave the hotel minus eating because you don't know what to say. They're asking for here to go. They're asking you for here to go, Mzalendo. Yeah, that's for here to go. And they're very quick for here to go. And I'm like, for here to go?
Then you go.
I say yes, yes.
And yes, what did you say?
So sometimes you ask them chips. They don't call it chips. I want chips. What is it? So you find a lot of challenges. A friend of mine, I think this guy is also one of the villagers. He came here. He went to get the social security card, and the attendant asked him, "What's the zip code?" But the way it was coming out, he was understanding that he was being told to zip the coat. That's how he understood it, the zip code. And he zipped the coat. He said, "Yeah, it's very cold. Yeah, it's very cold.
It's cold, yeah.
The coat." And it was a big problem. Now other people had to, come and try to help him understand what she is asking for. Those are some of the challenges we go through.
Let me tell you about my experience, and it has taken me a long time to, like when I'm having a conversation with an American and I'm telling them I'm going to work. They don't know where I'm going to. Work? What is work? Can you imagine? These people don't understand when you say I am going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to walk.
To walk, yeah, that's true.
Say walk. I'm going to walk. Yes, I'm going to walk. So I'm going to walk, and then I reached another place. I wanted water. Yeah, so I'm there asking the grocery manager, I need water. What is that?
What is that?
I need water. Do you know?
They're so intimidating. Because for you are giving it all.
I said, okay, fine. Every time I'll go asking for water, I'll ask, same store, I'll tell them, a different store, I'll tell them I need H2O. You know H2O? H2O? Yeah, H2O, yeah, water, water. So that's the only way we came to, understanding each other. We are each other. Then nikafika mahali, I'm in my truck, niko mahali kuna baridi huko Chicago. It's so cold. I enter this gas station. I see Americans in the morning. It was around 4 a.m. Wanachukua coffee nini, wengine wanachukua iced tea. Nikapata majority hapo wanachukua hiyo iced tea. Na ni baridi bwana. So me, I didn't know what iced tea is. Yeah? So iced tea unajua ukiweka na ni baridi inatoa moshi. Nikaona hii kitu jamaa, hii kitu wanakunywa, hii kitu this is the in thing. This is what you need to take when it's cold. Boss, nilienda nikaweka iced tea, nikaonja hivi. Strungi imewekwa barafu ndani, ni strungi imewekwa ice cubes ndani. Nikasema, oh my God, I need coffee, not this. So, I mean, it is culture. We are all from a different culture, and we must appreciate their cultures the way.
And sometimes they call different things, different names, not just like we call them. So you need to have a big heart to understand those things. Sometimes you can even be angry when you are not able to communicate with the other person. You might see as if they are pretending. There was a time I told them at the workplace, sometimes when you are talking to me, just know I'm from a different continent. can you please slow down? I keep telling them, yeah, you have to understand. Somebody was like, Geoffrey, do you understand English? I told her, okay, let me educate you. There is what we call a cross-cultural interaction or relations. You should study that. Because she wanted to embarrass me because I'm talking to you and all the time you tell me to pardon. And I told her, okay, yeah, it's because there are some things you don't understand. From that time, she respected me. So I told her in front of the people, because she talked there, Geoffrey, do you understand English? I told her, okay, you should know how to talk to people who come from different continents. And everybody was, oh, yeah. So
right.
you just need to have a big heart.
Hillary, back in Canada, have you had that kind of experience with Canadians?
There's a lot, man. There's a lot. There's water, man. We need water. We need water. So this water, where's water, man? What is this water?
What is this water?
What is this water, man? And actually, that's what they're used to. But also, what Mburu is saying is very important. That know your value, whatever you're doing, be confident in it. Let them know that you cannot be discriminated because you are coming from Africa. If they're not understanding, let them also understand that is your dialect. That's where we don't understand, because at the end of the day, it's not what you're talking about. It's at the end of the day that do you do the right thing? You get the point. So I think that we should understand that. And when you know your value, you know what you want to do. That one will be a challenge, man. You meet white person here, not even white person. Even most of the Africans, man, you find people from back home, and hata wamesahau Kiswahili. Sasa Kiswahili wazizungumza hapa. Mimi nacheka sana.
No, it's just pretending. There is no way when you are grown up, you can't go speaking a certain language, then along the way you lose it. It's not possible.
You say that, and you just from home just recently. So yeah, I just think that it's very important to just value yourself, and Mzalendo, be your Mzalendo. Don't change. I don't know why you're changing because you're in America. You die when we bury you 4x6. And if you're not careful, if you don't have a good policy, and even if you have a good policy, when we're taking you to Kenya, we are taking you as a mizigo. You people, you came seated in the seat.
When I'm dead, I'm so much at peace. Whatever you'll say about me, it's none of my business.
Yeah, but also what we need to do is need to value ourselves and embrace ourselves. We need to embrace ourselves. And when you do that, that's why we're talking about Indians. I went to a certain factory when I was new in this country because I was looking any job. When I was working with Indians, man, they are from India. Like 1 week ago, they're already in the company. The whole company is talking. They don't care about you. They with them, they're talking in Hindi. In Hindus, when they want to talk to you, they will talk to you. But when they're doing their job, they're making stories. They don't care about. They don't even value if you are there. I think that is a good thing. It's a good culture to me because it helps them to get into the system so fast. It helps them to get the culture so fast.
That's true.
It helps them to grow so fast. But here you come, man. When I call Mzalendo, when I landed, I called Mzalendo. This jamaa atanisumbua ametoka Kenya.
Wow, Hillary umesema kitu ya maana sana. And I thought that hii kitu isipite kabla tuongee.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, to those who live in Canada, those who live in the US, this is my experience. Personally, I've got so many relatives in the US, many, very close, not even distance, close. They are very, very close relatives. I remember the first time I got to the US, and I'm like, I need to talk to some of my relatives. Some of them are my uncles, some of them are my cousins. Then the numbers I'm given, first, they don't pick the calls. I send a text message, no response. Then maybe after 3 days, somebody calls you and tells you, hey, you've come, eh? Hey, Nick, karibu sana America. Now, this is somebody, you expect to guide you or to tell you, hey, umeingia. Sasa, uko wapi? kuja hii weekend ni kuonyeshe hapa America vile kunaendaga. You know, naturally I would do that to a brother or to a cousin who was come, or to a Kenyan who was come here in the US. But you realize that that barrier, that I would call it not being concerned about anybody who has just come in, especially if they are related to you. It's not your business anymore. That you need to know how they are doing, or what they are doing, or where they are. So I lived like that, and I think some of them I don't even bother to call them. If you meet in the street, I'll say, hey, hi. And funny enough, when you meet in the village, they pretend to love you so much, like tunapendana. Tunapendana wapi? We are in America, we don't love each other. If you go to the village, tupendani. Wacha tukae hivyo. We don't love each other, we don't like each other, we are relatives. It is a coincidence that we are. But if you don't show me love, then that is
and
it.
you see, Mzalendo, we have this mentality, which we come with this mentality from home, whereby everybody wants to be better than the other person. So I see some people living as if they are competing, who is doing better than who, such that even when I have an idea that can help you, I rather keep quiet so that other people don't have the information I have, so that they don't do well like me, which is very, very unfortunate. Like we were talking about Indians, how confident they are. They are not just confident in talking their language, they also work together. They do business together.
Yes.
That is why you see them owning big, big businesses. Why? Because they know some things. You can't do them alone. So I don't know why, especially we Kenyans, we find it very hard to come together, pull resources together, and do something meaningful. I don't know. It's very hard. And even those who try, they end up breaking up in a very bad way. Either we are so selfish and we have a very, very bad spirit of competition. All the time we want to compete. And that's why we end up not doing very well. Mzalendo, there is a level you never reach alone. I have an experience of some old men who used to work together during, after the colonial government left Kenya. They came together and formed a society where they were buying land from the white people who were living in Kenya. Today, those wazees, they were not educated, but they are richest today. Why? Because they pulled their resources together and they were able to buy properties then. Today they are billionaires. What about some of us who are educated? They claim to be educated, but they cannot work together for anything meaningful. So that's why we take so long before we can do anything meaningful, because we want to do it alone. You have to hustle until when you have money to do what you want to do. But when you can combine 2-3 people and work together, you are able to do a good business. Those Kenyans, few Kenyans that I have seen here, especially in tracking business, who have come together, pulled resources together, form a company together. Those guys, they are doing very well. So I wish we can embrace the culture of working together, coming together, ironing out differences, coming up with business ideas. That is what Indians do everywhere they go. And that is why they are able to thrive and they don't struggle so much, because they offer jobs to the newcomers. After some time, they let them join their system of doing things. We need to think along that line.
I think that is a good idea. And even people coming from the Hispanic countries, when somebody comes from Mexico and they're coming into the US or in Canada, any state that they will land, there is a chairman of that particular state, and any city, there's an extension of a leader in that particular city who will welcome you to the system, who will tell you, yes, this is how you get your driver's license. This is how you get a school. This is how you get your insurance. This is how you get your tags and things like that. So you get a system that is helping you already to get into a foreign country and be absorbed in the best way. And if you don't have even a work permit, they'll tell you, okay, this is there's a brother who has got a company, they can employ you or something like that. Those ones also do happen, but they will teach you how the system in each and every country works. If you want to go legal to get your documents, they will teach you this is how you can be legal in this particular country, and it's a good thing. But we in Kenya, just as Mburu, as you said, we are in a competition. Even when you open a YouTube channel like this, we are all in a competition. We are all in a competition, trying to compete each other, trying to outsmart each other, trying to outdo each other. But you see, we have got a race that we are running, but people don't realize that the strength of coming together makes does a lot of magic in whatever you are doing, whether it is in business, whether it is in a career. When you come together with people who have gone through the same career path, they will give you a lot of information. So when you are thrown into the deep end and left there to drown, you'll find yourself lucky enough to survive and float up, to be afloat and swim. Most people drown in the event or struggle so hard to survive when they're thrown in the deep end, while we have a brother who would have assisted them in the easiest and the best way to get into the system. I can tell you my story how I got into trucking. It was through a phone call, somebody I didn't even know, and we started the conversation. The next minute he's telling me, hey, niaje, uko wapi? Mi niko Atlanta na mzigo. Nawambia mimi nimeboeka hapa kwa nyumba, and I think I'm getting mad. Na nikikaa hapa America for the next 1 week nitachizi. If I stay here in the US for the next 1 week, I'll get crazy. Kichwa yangu itaruka. Akaniambia, you do what? Take the next bus. Niko Washington. Saizo niko Washington DC. I took a night bus to Atlanta. Met this Kenyan who we had never met in Nairobi. Never been friends. We became very good friends. We lived together. We are like brothers and sisters. We are like brothers right now, you know. So that is how somebody from your country needs to help you without knowing who you are. But look, all those relatives you have, nobody even cares about your welfare. Nobody even cares where you live. They don't even care. They don't, I mean, and that is how Kenyans live. And you give a good example, the Indian community. The Indian community own the 7-Elevens. Majority of them are owned by the Indian community. They've come together, pulled resources, and they've bought franchise in 7-Eleven. The gas stations, some of the gas stations that are doing so well are owned by the Indian community. When you come to the hospitality industry, the Popeyes are owned by people from Afghanistan who have come here, build up resources, and the people you find employed in that particular store are people from Afghan. Yeah, majority of them, they don't even know how to speak English, but they will learn in the process, and they have each other. They don't know. How many times have you gone to Walmart and met this person who does not even know how to speak English? And yet they are working there, meaning there is somebody who helped them do the interview and help them get into the system, and wakaambiwa we kazi yako ni kupanga tu hii store namna hii namna hii namna, and you go home. But Kenyans are born jealous. Kenyans are born in a competitive mode. Ukiamka tu hivi unataka kucompete na ndugu yako, unataka kucompete na the whole world, and that is where we get it wrong. Guys, we have done 1 hour. We promised each other 1 hour of this particular show. I want you guys to give your last remarks on whatever we have discussed today. But before we do that, I wanted to share what will happen tomorrow in the whole world. Here in the US, it will happen around 2 or 3-ish there. And this is there'll be total darkness. This is the eclipse, the solar eclipse. So this will happen tomorrow. You are advised not to look. You are advised not to look directly at the eclipse. You can turn blind. So this will happen here in the US at around 2 to 3 p.m. There'll be total darkness. So the eclipse are one of the nature's most spectacular phenomenon that people like looking at. Yo, naangalia eclipse ya the moon, but the occurrence is that the sun and the moon and the earth align themselves to create this shadow that brings darkness in the sky. So it will be very, very dark when they are crossing each other. The eclipse, the first one, that one I heard of was in 2004. And now we have this one that is happening in April 2024. So, guys, if you can touch on this a bit, if you know anything about the eclipse, maybe you can advise our viewers out there to stay at home and not to find themselves in a situation where they are very busy or the kids are very busy looking up in the sky. So if you have got small children, advise them not to look up in the sky because the eclipse is happening tomorrow. There'll be a shadow for a few minutes on Earth, and things will be back to normal as soon as the eclipse occurs. So with that, I want you guys to give me your closing remarks. I'll start with Hilary, then Mburu.
Thank you so much. I want to start where you ended. That it is announced that tomorrow we have a solar eclipse. It will start from down there. It starts in Mexico, going to America, North America, the whole of it. So people should know the awareness of the dangerous part of it tomorrow. For those who are listening, and also if your friends, your family, mostly in North America, tell them that the eclipse will be there. It depends with the location of where you are. The time is not exact because like now I'm in Ontario, but if you go to Alberta at the moment, you'll realize it is here it is 10:20. In Alberta, it is 8:20. In Vancouver, you'll realize it's 7 p.m. So it varies where you are. So if you have friends, and let them note that there's solar eclipse that is coming around, and solar eclipse means that the moon is passing along the sun. They are like intertwined. So that one brings that. And you have said it so well that it brings some. Don't look it directly. Advise children to take care of it, and if possible, let people stay in the house. Otherwise, thank you so much, Mzalendo, for.
I don't want you to. There's somebody who has posted a question. Black there is asking a question on Canada, and you are the best person to answer these questions.
What happened in Canada? Kenyans have been flocking there recently in search of a job. Okay, that's very true. People are coming, man. If you get a visa, come. Canada is so big. It's the largest country, second largest country in the world. The population is only 47 million. It means that even Kenya population is higher than Canada. And mark you, the Canada. So Canada, there's still a lot of spaces. Come here with open mind and come here, look for a job. Also create a job. There's other province that doesn't have people. The people are very few there. And if you can get a visa, Canada is a good place for you to come to at least explore the life in abroad. But come with open mind. Come, we are prepared. It is cold. Come, we are prepared that there's no exact job that you want, but do whatever you get. so that you can have some dollars in the pocket. You support people back home. That's what I can say, Mzalendo.
After many questions from Canada, after paying big money payments to agents in Kenya, then they realized that when they arrive in Canada, hakuna kazi.
Yeah, because watu wanachagua kazi. Shida ni watu vile hii kitu tulisema kwa in our conversation. Unakuja hapa unataka kwenda kwa ofisi bwana, hapa kuna ofisi. Ukiingia hapa enda factory. Ukiingia hapa enda utoe snow kwa mlango za watu ili uweze kupata pesa. Usikuja hapo watake kazi ofisi. Kazi ofisi hakuna. Hata kama ulisoma enda kwa hizi homes, safisha watu, pata pesa. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndio shida iko hapa, kwa sababu Wakenya wanafika hapo wanaanza kuchagua kazi, anafikiria hapa kuna white na Mburu alisema hii kitu. Ukishaingia hapa wewe ingia. Na wewe pia umesema ukimalizia ulisema kwamba truck driving job. Ingia hapa kama umeenda asylum, ongea na kesi wako, mwambie unataka kufanya tu course yoyote ambayo itakusaidia. Watakulipia hizo course ndogo ndogo. Alafu anze from there. So ukianza from there, after a long time, after a period of time, you'll go where you want. But when you come, I want to advise our people who are coming and who are here, just be very careful. And also these agents wanaiba watu sana hapo Kenya, wanaiba watu sana. Sasa usitoe tu pesa uweze kujua hii visa kama unaweza kujiapply is very important. What is important in visa is 3 things. Na watu wajui. Bank statement. If you can get a good bank statement, you have a friend can give you a good bank statement, you can apply visa for yourself. If you have a title deed, that is a very big advantage. You can copy and give a copy to the Canadian embassy. If you have a car, it's very important. These are the things that they want to see. If you have things that will not make you to come to Canada. And also when you come to Canada, I don't think, okay, I see most Kenyans coming here seek asylum. I don't know. If it's the best way for you, it's very important. But also there's other ways of doing that, and you come and stay. One of them is school. Second of them, you can come here and apply a job when you're here. Then when you get employed, you write a letter to the immigration office. They give you work permit. And when they give you work permit, you start from there. So no matter what, first land in Kenya, in Canada. When you land here, Mzalendo, whoever lands here and coming to this show, I will give you my number. And or have my number, then we can advise.
All right. Yeah. All right. I think we'll be having a show on immigration on Africa every other end week, especially on Sunday, a day like this one. Hilary, you'll be able to come and be part of that show. That show is the new one on Africa. We are having the immigration show that is starting this Sunday. That show will be hosted by none other than Jeffrey Mburu. So Jeffrey will tell us just a bit of what we expect on that show on immigration that will educate Kenyans on ways and the easiest way to come to Europe or to go anywhere abroad, including the UAE, Canada, Germany, UK, USA, and many other parts of the world. So Mburu will give you a brief on what we expect on that show. We promised you in Africa we will do things differently. We are going to be very, very informative, educative. And if you have a friend or someone who would like to come to the US, make sure that they have subscribed to Africa 24 and they will be able to get this information for free without paying a single dime. Mburu.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mzalendo, for the opportunity. The reason why I was thinking and I was requesting you that we should be having this show is because, one, you have seen what Mr. Black is talking about there, that people before they migrate from Kenya to any other country, there are people who take advantage because, one, they don't have information. And we say information is power. So before they can get the information to know where to go and how to go there, they end up paying a lot of money. And we say the service to humanity is service to God. So if there is something I can do to help people, I do it wholeheartedly. That is why I thought about it, that we have a show where we can be discussing the processes and different ways of getting visas to go to different countries. Because what people don't have is information. The other thing people don't have is connection. You see, right now here, we have a lot of connection with people across the globe. If I want to send someone to UK, I have someone in UK that can meet that person and help that person be in a position to navigate the system and settle down. We have Hillary here. If we want to help someone to go to Canada, we have people like Hillary we can send to, so that that person is not taken advantage of by some people. So I don't want to say that those people who are the agents don't do a good job. They do a good job, but few of them exploit our people so much that they take so long before they can recover from the money they paid to go to different places. So information is power. We will be coming here. We will be exploring different ways. Like now here in America, there are many ways in which you can come. And people, is what I would like us to be discussing here. And we will set the date, and we will be doing it consistently for free. We are not charging people to give them information. The only thing you need to do, just subscribe to our channel, Afrique24. And when you do that, you'll be getting accurate information. And it's up to you to know what to do with the information that you have. There are people who discourage others from maybe coming to America. Now you can imagine if I discourage you from coming to America, yet I am still in America and I'm not coming back to Kenya. What does that tell you? So we should be telling people the truth, that yes, there are challenges before you can settle down, but in the long run, you settle down, you'll be able to live a good life, you'll be able to get good money. There are people who have lived in America today, they are millionaires. Others are in other places, they are doing very well. And the world is becoming one. We are living in a global world. People are migrating from one place to the other, looking for greener pasture. So there is nothing that should hinder you from moving where you are. Go anywhere you can go for the betterment of your life and the life of your people. And that way we'll be progressing very well. Thank you so much, Mr. Mzalendo, for the opportunity to be in the show.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Jeff. And we look forward to hear more about the ways of coming to the US. Viewers, we've come to an end of yet another interesting episode on Afrique. Today is Comrades from Africa. Each and every Sunday, we'll be featuring different comrades from Ghana, from Sudan, from all over Africa who are able to come and participate. If you have a guest in mind who you would like to come to our channel, please don't hesitate to send us his address or your phone number so that we can engage and try and make a difference in Africa, not only in Kenya, but the whole of Africa. It has been a very interesting evening, and I hope that most of your questions have been answered. Goodyear, thank you very, very much. Blake, thank you for the engagement. Tomorrow is we begin our week, and we pray that we begin the week in the hands of the Lord. So otherwise, thank you very much once again, and I wish you a good morning and a good evening wherever you are.
party is the party of principles. For the party of Kennedy is also the party of Eastland. The party of Jarvis is also the party of Goldwater. Where is our party? Where is the political party that will make it unnecessary to march on Washington? Where is the political party that will make it unnecessary to march in the streets of Birmingham? Where is the political party that will protect the citizen of Albany, Georgia? Do you know that in Albany, Georgia, 9 of our leaders have been indicted, not by the Dixiecrats, but by the federal government for peaceful protest? But what did the federal government do when Albany Deputy Sheriff beat Attorney C.B. King and left him half dead? What did the federal government do when local police official kicked and assaulted the pregnant wife of Slater King and she lost her baby? Those who have said be patient and wait, we must say that we cannot be patient. We do not want our freedom gradually, but we want to be free now.